They're meant to keep you safe from veering off the road or crashing into something dangerous. But if guardrails aren't installed properly, they can be the danger. I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Over the last 3 years, our team has reported on the hidden dangers of guardrails that have cost some people their lives.
We speak with a family who says the death of their daughter from an improperly installed rail forced change for an entire state.
Investigative reporter Kristen Crowley shows us how that reform could serve as a blueprint for other states, as some lawmakers now call for change.
She was incredibly creative, smart. We had actually gone to college, a college that she was looking at, to do a tour of the dorm, and she was very excited about that.
For 18-year-old Isabella Alonso, the future was bright. But in 2020, just months before graduating high school, that future was ripped away.
Another driver pulled into her lane, and Isabella had a reaction that made her hit the guardrail. The guardrail, impaled her car.
Phoenix County 911. I just saw a car clip a guardrail.
It looks like a car hit the guardrail on the side really bad.
When you saw the guardrail, did you know something was wrong with it?
I knew that they're not supposed to look like that after a wreck. I've never seen one straight up in the air.
The Alonso's attorneys say the guardrail installed on this Georgia highway was Frankensteined, a term some experts in the field use to describe a guardrail put together with mixed parts from different manufacturers that do not belong together. That mistake can turn a guardrail from a safety device to a deadly spear.
We had an expert, what they call an accident reconstructionist, said if the guardrail had worked properly, she would have walked away.
I think somebody in the driver's seat is dead.
Isabella was between that guardrail and the car when it went through her door. So that guardrail, it killed her.
After Isabella's death, and with pressure from local media, Georgia's Department of Transportation launched a statewide inspection of all its guardrails. It found hundreds of them installed improperly. Following the inspection, GDOT not only replaced the misinstalled hardware, it created a guardrail garden. It's a training ground away from the dangers and distractions of a highway, where workers and contractors can see proper installation methods of guardrails up close. GDOT says proper installation and maintenance is imperative for keeping the public safe. But unsafe guardrails are not just one state's problem.
One of my constituents contacted me and said, hey, we've got an issue.
Minnesota State Senator Jeff House says guardrail safety wasn't even on his radar until he got this letter warning that Minnesota has an epidemic of unsafe guardrails and that the state is failing to provide safe roads to drivers. The letter, not just from a citizen, but a worker at the Minnesota Department of Transportation.
He said, by my estimate, 9.5 out of every 10 guardrails I inspected had egregious installation errors, poor maintenance, or more commonly, both.
In other words, 95% of our guardrails are deficient.
What was your response to this letter when you received it?
I went to the county engineer, and I was kind of thinking that I was going to get this, no, he's looking at it wrong. But they admitted to the fact that it was an issue right away.
They knew.
They knew.
We've investigated problematic guardrails for years. In 2023, attorney Ken Emison showed us guardrail spearings across multiple states.
This one happens to be a case in Illinois.
Cases he handled where the people were either severely injured or killed. He told us proper installation of this infrastructure is critical to keep drivers safe.
People can't understand how the smallest error in assembling an end terminal and guardrail could result in a death.
But there is no federal law requiring training or setting standards for the people who install guardrails. It is up to each state Minnesota's DOT says it does require training. Howe says it's clearly not enough.
Apparently, the contractors that are putting them in don't know what they're doing.
Do you know if he was able to get the defective guardrails he saw replaced?
I don't believe any of that's been done.
And we're talking now, it's been about a year?
About a year. I thought that once the administration found out that they had a problem, they'd put some emphasis towards going after it.
But that hasn't happened.
That hasn't happened.
The Minnesota Department of Transportation declined our request for comment, but told us it also has a guardrail garden that allows our crews to see the guardrail up close, away from traffic, and discuss a repair before it happens. We asked to visit the site. MnDOT told us no.
She made that for me her last Christmas.
Over the years, the Alonzos have met family members who've lost loved ones to guardrail spearings. Families beyond Georgia, like in Florida, Illinois, and Tennessee.
This is a national problem, yes.
It's a problem everywhere. There's nowhere safe.
At least one lawmaker sees it as a nationwide problem, too. Congressman Tim Burchett, who sits on the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, says he's calling on the Federal Highway Administration to make change.
The problem you have is government having to admit they made a mistake, which is, egos over human lives.
Burchett says the government needs to rip out improperly installed guardrails, no matter the cost. And he's called for federal mandates to ensure guardrails get put in right the first time.
We need to put certain standards in the statutes. You're going to have somebody out there that's not really qualified installing these things. That's another thing, is that they're qualified to install what they're doing.
The Alonzos say until there is a federal mandate, every state should do what Georgia did. Inspect every guardrail to find the ones that are installed incorrectly before they cost someone their life and forever change another family's future.
If they did that, that would save lives, period. Because of Isabella, these are getting fixed. Because of Isabella, there's going to be lives saved.
Despite the lawmakers' call for change, no legislation has been proposed yet to fix this problem. We also asked to visit GDOT's guardrail garden, and it too declined. The Alonzos reached a settlement with GDOT on the death of Isabella, but GDOT would not comment on that case. Reporting in Kansas City, Missouri, I'm Kristen Crowley.
To report a potentially faulty or improperly installed rail on a state highway, you should contact the state's Department of Transportation.
For county and rural roads, contact the county's highway department or county administrator.
Our investigation continues on InvestigateTV.com, where we examine a type of rail known to spear vehicles, which sometimes leads to deadly consequences.
This really not designed as a crash-worthy barrier system at all.
So why is something that is not crash-worthy on the road?
We answer that question and speak with one family who lived that horror. Head to InvestigateTV.com and search guardrails.